Now, the emergency rule in Rivers State seems to have taken off without hiccups. The sole administrator of the state, that's Vice Admiral retired Ibok Etekwe Ibas, has announced that the 2025 appropriation bill is being developed to address critical areas such as healthcare, education, agriculture, and infrastructure. He emphasized that the budget will also focus on job creation and technological advancement to improve public services and economic growth in the state. Meanwhile, the Niger Delta Congress has announced a planned peaceful protest for Monday, April 7th, 2025, in response to the suspension of River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara and the State House of Assembly. The protest, scheduled to take place at Isaac Borough Park from 7 a.m., aimed to demand the restoration of democratic governance in the state. Well, joining us now on the show is Chisom Gbali, suspended River State Commissioner for Youth Development. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Vimba. I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, Chisom Gbali, I like this, your new title, Suspended River State Commissioner for Youth Development. And to see that even in suspension, you are still active. But we understand that there is a planned protest this morning by 7 a.m. At the state capital. And we just like to start off with, what's the situation? As the protest started, it's already to 10. People were supposed to gather at 7 a.m. What have you observed? What's the situation on the streets of Port Harcourt? And what are the youth saying about this suspension of, elected authority in Rivers State?
Well, thank you. Good morning, Dr. Abati, my friend Rofai and Vimba. Thank you for having me on set and for giving me yet another opportunity to, contribute my voice to what is alien to our society, to our land. Like you said, Vimba calling me suspended commissioner is an aberration, is out of our democracy, is not heard in our democracy, and that is the kind of thing that is happening in Rivers State. We are, of course, we know that life throws up challenges, but we are braced up to overcome the challenges because, like scripture said, that there is a cross for every crown, and only the throne can maintain the throne. So in Rivers State, everywhere is calm, everywhere is cool and calm, like you have seen in different pictures, in different clips, that Rivers people are resolved. We have chosen hope over fear, unity of purpose over conflict and discord. We are resolved to stay with His Excellency Siminalayi Fubara, and that is why you see everywhere is absolutely calm. And the penchant is not driven by anything rather than organic. And this is Rivers State. Rivers State is calm. It has also been validated by the so-called sole administrator who has traversed all the projects of His Excellency Siminalayi Fubara, that Rivers State is working, even in the midst of all the conundrum, as it were. But Rivers State is working, government is delivering. The administrator visited the assembly complex, visited Bori, I think yesterday or something, and validates that the government of His Excellency Siminalayi Fubara is relished, is cherished by the people of Rivers State. And that is where we have resolved. No matter the distraction, no matter the plan they are perplexed actually with the developmental achievement of His Excellency, with his candor, with his sublime nature of integrating everybody. And above all, integrating the youth where I represent, where I supervise. That's why you see that everywhere is calm.
Okay.
But I asked you about the protest planned for this morning in Port Harcourt. Are you saying that no protest is taking place? Or you are not aware that there's any such development?
I don't think any protest is taking place in Port Harcourt because if there is any such thing, I think I should be aware beforehand. And I coordinate all the youth bodies. They are under my ministry. Anything that will happen, I should have first-class information. There's no protest in Rivers State, I can tell you that.
Is your ministry still functioning in suspension? Because you say they are under your ministry.
Well, Well, like you know, I'm at home. If not for the suspension, as it were, I would have been in the office. So that's to say that I'm not currently in the office. I don't work. But again, I have synopsis of what happens. I have a permanent secretary. I have directors in the ministry. And the ministry is on autopilot. So whether I'm there or not, things are happening. And I'm always briefed.
Okay, I like that you said River State is working, and you spoke of all the wonderful things that are happening currently, and that the situation is calm and smooth and everything is functioning. But some might question how that is possible without an operational budget. So the budget of Governor Siminalayi Fubara was deemed illegitimate for reasons, of course, we're all aware of. However, the retired Vice Admiral Ibas is now creating a new budget for the state. And some are asking, how is it possible for an authority who is not democratically elected to be able to constitute a budget for a state? So that also sounds illegitimate. What's your take on the illegitimacy of 1 year, 2 budgets, both deemed to be illegitimate? Chisom, can you hear me? All right, so I think we might have to continue to unpack this as we wait for the audio to be repaired. Ultimately, you know, we've heard his stance. He's saying that there's no protests. We'll be waiting to hear from our correspondents on the ground as they will give us live images from the situation in Port Harcourt and across River State. I'm interested in the appropriation bill and how do we justify introducing a new appropriation bill in this particular manner at this time?
I mean, Vimba, you're spot on. It's the way of the country. I mean, lots of illegality upon illegality. The sole administrator in the first place, the question we've always asked is, does the Constitution have a provision for that in the first place? Then you have the sole administrator goes ahead, you know, brings about a new appropriation bill. I think the National Assembly was saying the other day that they should be careful about making laws, but what do you expect? You're trying to tell the sole administrator that was a product of an illegal decision in the first place, you know, not to go ahead and perpetrate another illegality. That's the way Nigeria has been run. It's been run on the pedestal of illegality. And once you have that, then definitely things cannot move forward. I mean, the president said the reason for declaration of state of emergency in the first place was because of threat to life. Was there no threat to life in Bokos? Was there no threat to life in Mangu? Was there no destruction of property in those areas? So, I mean, we've made that argument ad nauseum. But most importantly, what I will also be interested in talking about today will be the possible, you know, conversations going on as regards settlement and what they've been saying. Yeah.
All right. So we've got Mr. Chisom Gbali back. I will ask my question again. Just confirm that you can hear me before I proceed.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, fantastic. So I was saying that you'd made mention to the fact that River State is working, all things are moving along smoothly and calmly, and the state is functioning very well. So I question how that is possible when there isn't a functional budget. So we know that the budget that had been passed was cancelled as illegitimate. The budget under Governor Fubara, due to all the circumstances we are all aware of. Now, retired Vice Admiral Ibas is constituting his own budget. But some people are saying, well, that is also illegitimate because he's not a duly elected official, so he does not have the authority to start constituting budgets. So my question is, what's your take on this illegitimacy that we see with the 2025 budget? One budget here, 2025, 2 budgets, none of which can really be deemed to be legitimate by the Constitution.
Okay, I was trying to say that before the obstruction of the administration of His Excellency Siminalayi Fubara, that the government was working, like you know, a fortnight before the pronouncement of His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic, we were commissioning project back to back. So what that means is that the budget cycle of 2024 was still subsisting. You know, budget cycle will elapse by the middle of the month of the year. That is around June. That's the window we still had for for the budget cycle of 2024. And so His Excellency, going forward, made every effort, following the pronouncement of the highest court of the land, which is the Supreme Court, made effort, you know that story, I don't need to take you back to that, to present the budget to the Amehule-led assembly as pronounced by the Supreme Court and before all the obstacles and all of those. But again, why I said the administrator is validating that state government, that His Excellency Siminalayi Fubara was judiciously using the funds of Rivers State and is audible to the deaf and conspicuous to the blind. And today, going forward to present a budget is also alien to our laws. For a sole administrator to present budget to the National Assembly, as it were, that's what they claim. But everybody has condemned it, and we are standing as youth, as the leader of the Commissioner for Youth Development, to speak on the voices of the entire youth of Rivers State, over 5 million youth of Rivers State, to say that it's against every natural justice for a sole administrator to present budget and to implement budget, even cancelling projects that have been awarded by His Excellency the Governor. The other day, you heard the pronouncement that all those who bidded for one contract or the other should refund funds meant for projects. That's an aberration. That's a culture shock for all of us. But again, there's nothing you don't expect from Nigeria. Anything we see, we take. We are more like in a banana republic. But again, nature has its way of cushioning all these effects.
Okay. All I just want to ask you is, are there any conversations going on to resolve this political struggle? I hear some elders are trying to meet. You know, the PDP governors have gone to the Supreme Court. Is there anything you know of to be able to resolve what is going on in Rivers State? And when last did you speak to Siminalayi Fubara?
You know,
when last did you speak to Siminalayi Fubara, the governor, the suspended governor?
Thank you, Rufai. His Excellency is our leader, is the political leader of Rivers State, and I'm not holding brief for him. But again, as his commissioner, I think I always talk with him, I always visit him, and he's in a very stable spirit. I tell you what, one of the three cardinal points that the National Assembly pronounced as part of ways to resolve this problem was to constitute a high-calibered committee that will wade into the matter with the aim of resolving it once and for all. But till now, to tell you that this is a calculated attempt, you know, till now, I don't know of any committee that has been set up by the presidency or by the National Assembly or whoever to wade into this matter with the aim of resolving it once and for all. I'm not aware of any of those. So that's to tell you, we even hear from Grapevine, we heard that the former governor, now Minister of FCT, they are going ahead to plan. There is a calculated attempt to extend the supposed, the said state of emergency that should ordinarily not last, even now as we speak. What the sole administration was sent to do, is it not to bring peace? There is absolute peace before his coming, and it's still peaceful. Everywhere is peaceful, everywhere is working. So what they are supposed to do, is it not to restore our democracy, restore His Excellency and other arms? What we have now is despotism, government of just a few. Nobody is aware of what is happening in Rivers State. So what we are expecting is that by now they would have constituted a committee, people from different walks of life, and then call all the warring parties to a round table. You've seen our so-called assembly members, they're in the UK. They are gallivanting in the UK. So it's their plan. They have a script they are practicing. Okay,
Chisom. Now, after the sole administrator was named and appointed, we were told that the suspended funds for Rivers State were eventually released to the sole administrator. Now, the sole administrator has come up with an appropriation proposal, which he says he's going to use to embark on a number of capital projects. Well, appropriation is, an act. It's a law, or, an act of parliament. The Constitution provides in Section 11, sub 4, that the National Assembly can make laws for a state like Rivers. So you have to go through the National Assembly. That's the procedure as spelled out in the Constitution. But do you think, which is the main issue, that this sole administrator that has been given an appointment for 6 months is now beginning to behave like he's a permanent authority, that does not intend to live in 6 months? Do you get that impression? Is that your reading? Because you are in Port Harcourt there, and you are a stakeholder in this unfolding melodrama.
Yes, Dr. Abati, again, we're in the same wavelength. That's actually the calculated attempt I was talking about. There is a plan to extend it. They want to even incite problem before the end of this 6 months, as it were. They want to incite a problem that the president will make another pronouncement. And of course, if there's any extension whatsoever, it calls for the end of the administration. So if you see there's a school of thought in politics they call body language. If you see the body language, you know that this is a calculated attempt where they are setting aside all the subsisting projects, suspending board, parastatal agencies, doing all of that, going for budget presentation, even though it's enshrined in the Constitution, but someone that was sent to come and restore peace. Till now, what we're saying is they even planned also, because we're here, the practicability of whatever they are planning will also get from the grapevine. They even plan to institute a sole administrator at the local government level. All these are their calculated attempts. But I tell you what, we don't want to join issues.
Just a moment.
Because all this is to incite.
You keep saying they. Who are these they? Be specific. Who are they?
They are very few. They are just
name them. Just identify them.
The former governor, the current minister of FCT, and his cohorts and his goons. Yes, you know them. The former governor, the assembly members, the former chairman whose tenure elapsed, and the governor pronounced the caretaker, as it were, before the election of this former defunct local government chairman. So that's the people I'm talking about. We know them. The issue of Rivers State is between the former governor and the governor of Rivers State. And because he's seen they are more or less perplexed with the achievement of the governor, they want to distort the administration. So that, because between now, all these things is geared towards 2027, I'm sure you are aware. And we are dazzled that His Excellency will be meddling into this kind of matter when there are so many areas in Nigeria that has more burden issues, more pressing needs. People are dying. You just interviewed the former minister, Solomon Lalong. People are dying every day. There's no state of emergency, but in Rivers State, there's state of emergency where we never had anybody hurt.
Are you recommending a state of emergency in Plateau State?
No, not at all. I'm telling you where we have worst case scenario. Rivers State, people are going about their business. That's why you see every common person on the street is calling that His Excellency should rescind on his decision and call back the democracy we voted for. What we bargained for is democracy. What I'm saying, I'm just comparing with what you have elsewhere, where they have worst case scenario, and yet no pronouncement of a state of emergency. But Rivers State, that everything is seemingly better, especially for the youth. Just look at the scenario, the former government, and this is just like vicious circle and spiral circle. Those people, you see the nucleus of people they have around the former governor. There's nobody you say this is a youth that have been made from this government or been given opportunity. But today, you have employment. The last employment we had was 2,000 medical practitioners. We had the other earlier one for Ignatius Ajuru, 1,000. We have 54 projects ongoing and completed by His Excellency the Governor. All this is happening within the framework of the 2 years.
All right, now,
or less than 2 years in office.
We know there's a number of groups taking legal action. Are you going to be taking any legal action to try and restore your governor back to his office, or are you just sitting at home and waiting it out? What's your plan of action?
Well, I'd like to thank Nigerians I want to thank all the former presidents that have spoken out, the elder statesmen, stakeholders from different walks of life. I want to thank people. People have taken this thing by themselves. It's no longer a Siminala Efubara thing. It's about our democracy. It's about River State, the soul of River State. So people have gone to court. Several, the Governors Forum, PDP, different people, social, cultural groups, ethnic groups, they've all gone to court. I'm a member of the State Executive Council, so I can't be a judge in my own matter. I'm with the governor, and we remain with the governor. But we know that if our judiciary is still the judiciary we are professing, well, we'll see how it pans out.
Okay. So, yes, you're saying you can't be a judge. Cases are in court already. The PDP governors have gone to court and all of that. I'd like to ask you this question. How are you surviving with all of this? Because with this suspension, obviously, you don't get any pay. How are you being motivated? And I ask this deliberately because of what happened recently with another person in the fold of the state, which used to be like the head of service of the state, where there was some back and forth. His wife said, oh, he had been kidnapped. He said no. And in a couple of messages that were allegedly released, there was a conversation around sustenance and sustainability. But anyway, the head of service has said he did this because he wanted to expose corruption in the state. So how are you sustaining this one that there's no salary again? How are you living?
Well, Rufai, thank you so much. First, let me say that I always profess, because my ministry is youth development, I always talk to my youth to have a second address. Don't make politics an end in itself. Have another source of livelihood. And that is why you see these people are clinging to power. They don't want to leave power because they cannot have any office whatsoever to do any kind of business or work for anybody. But we, like I can tell you, is visible. You can go and find out. I am a farmer. I have a fish farm, elaborate fish farm. I'm also into hospitality. So I have second address. I have places, and that is why we can stand for the truth. Because one of the things they used to coerce, they said, well, a wise man said that the youth are easily deceived because they are quick to believe. They will coerce people because when they subject them to hunger, that's what they are doing to the entire Nigeria. When they subject you to hunger, you don't have any option than to fall to their gimmicks. But for us, we have another source of livelihood. We have a last resort. And then talking about the head of service, I can tell you, I had regard for him. He was most of the committees, some of the committees we served together, like the Federal Public Service Game the last time, early December. I was his secretary in like 2 subcommittees. And I wasn't surprised of that man coming. It's not about age. Scripture said the age of Methuselah has nothing to do with the wisdom of Solomon. It's not about age. Most of these people you refer as elders, they are afraid of poverty because they've not worked for themselves. They don't have anything to return back to. Someone that worked for 35 years and you are recalled to come and serve your state and you're saying that you're hungry. It's obvious.
No, but
what hunger can do. So, I tell you, the committees.
So real quickly,
the committees we served. Sorry. Let me round up. The committee we served. The committees we served. I tell you, I don't want to mention money, but I know how much that was routed through his account. And I was the utility staff. I was the secretary. I'm a younger person. I was doing virtually everything. At the end of the day, other members of our committee, even other committees that worked part of our duties, the man confiscated the money, and till today, my colleague, the commissioner for sports, almost confronted him. I was the one that told him, calm down. He had to even call me and say, you're my son, take this, to calm me down, because he knows that I have the overview of what was expended. So that's the kind of man you're talking about. And I can tell you, Rufai, you are knowledgeable. You are one of our best in Nigeria. You know that thing was the script. Even the voice at the background was a script. The man was compromised. So you saw it.
Because we don't have time. We're wrapping up now. We're done on the show. Are you accusing the head of service that just resigned for corruption? Are you accusing him of corruption? Is that what you're saying?
I can't say without facts, but the closeness I had, the little time I had with him, is someone without integrity, someone without what you see in the outside is not what is inside. And he told me in one of the conversations we had that the National Assembly member representing Chi Omoma, Honorable Kelechi Nwogu, is the father is his best friend. And the voice at the background during the interview, the person that was saying, that used their local language, saying, Bibo, Dekwabo, Dekwabo, is Kelechi Nwogu. Read from the script I'm giving to you, read from the script, is Kelechi Nwogu. So we know all these things. We were there, don't forget.
Do you have your facts?
All they do is to set discord.
Okay.
I know that. I have the facts. I can send you the video and I'll tell you. I mentioned Kelechi Nwogu so that I am subject to litigation.
Please send us the video. We'll be waiting on that. Chisom Gbali, please send us the video. We'll be waiting for it. Unfortunately, our time is done. Yes, but thank you so much for your insights. We wish you all the best. And of course, we continue to put Rivers State on the front burner until all issues are resolved.